You are locked into the Dread Zone FMM, where we don't just tell stories, we bring the nightmare fuel. Tonight's episode is going to mess you up. It's a little twisted tale we call Visitor. So, do yourself a favor. Kill the lights, crank up the volume, and whatever you do, if you hear a knock, don't open the door. Let's get into it.
We were hanging out that rainy evening at Old Pine Bar, downtown Riverside, Montana, our usual meetup spot. Everyone was trying to tell spooky stories, but honestly, most of them were cheap campfire stuff. A ghost in the barn, a woman in white near the cornfield, things we'd heard 100 times. Just then Mr. Shepherd walked in, retired sheriff, about 60, tall, calm, and the type of man everybody respects. Doesn't drink, doesn't swear, people practically lower their voices when he's around. He took off his rain-soaked jacket and said, "Looks like y'all are telling ghost stories tonight." We laughed. "Yeah, but nothing's really hitting, Sheriff. You got something better?" Mr. Shepherd paused. "I got a story, but it ain't exactly a ghost story. Not sure what it is. You decide." And with that, he began. "The night I shouldn't have survived years ago, I got transferred to a remote district in northern Montana, near the Canadian border. Wild forests, grizzly country, miles of nothing but pine trees and fog. My family was still back in Dallas. Figured I'd settle down first, check the place, then call them over. I stayed for the first few weeks at the local deputy's cabin. Deputy Ray Mullins, a good man but always stressed. On my third morning there, he told me quietly, 'Sheriff, you shouldn't have come here this season.' I laughed it off. 'Ray, it's Montana. What could go wrong?' Ray shook his head. 'You don't know about the Blackwater Fever around these parts? It hits newcomers bad, fast, deadly.' I'd heard rumors, people dying in a day or two, locals surviving somehow, outsiders not so lucky. Still, what could I do? Jobs are jobs. Weeks passed. Beautiful wild country. Fog rolling over the mountains. Coyotes howling at night. You'd love it if you weren't alone. Then one afternoon, while checking on a liquor permit in a logging camp, I suddenly felt sick. Hard. The loggers pressed a bottle of water into my hand. Said it was just a cold. Montana humor. But by the time my truck reached my cabin, I was shaking so bad I could barely hold the wheel. Ray called the town doc. Doc Myers gave me injections and said I'd be fine. For a while, I was. 15 days later, bam, the fever was back. Then again, and again. Finally, the real Blackwater symptoms hit me. And trust me, you don't mistake them. Ray and the town doc whispered outside my door. I heard enough to know the truth. They did think I'd lived the night. Doc Myers told Ray, "Make arrangements. If he makes it till morning, it'll be a miracle." Ray didn't even drink water from my place. Everyone was scared it was contagious. They planned to put me on a stretcher and drive me out of the district next morning. But that night, the fever slammed me so hard I couldn't even stand. I collapsed onto the bed. The world went black. The shadow girl, I woke up God knows when. Maybe midnight. The room was pitch dark except for the moonlight leaking through the blinds. I saw something moving outside. Fast, circling my cabin. A girl, barefoot, skin dark like shadow. Moving so fast she almost blurred. She was drawing shapes on the dirt with a stick. Circles, lines, symbols I'd never seen. 3 times she passed my front door. The 3rd time she stopped, slowly lifted her face, looked right at me through the gap in the door, and whispered, "Don't be scared. I'm marking a circle. Nothing bad can cross it tonight." Sleep? Her voice, soft, young, almost protective. Before I could speak, everything faded again. I don't know how long I slept. But later I opened my eyes. The same girl was sitting by my head. Maybe 18 or younger, drenched in sweat like she'd run miles. When she saw me stir, she whispered, "You woke up? Sleep. You're safe. Just sleep, okay?" Her voice hushed me like a mother soothing a child. And I drifted off again. The last thing I saw was the pine branch outside glowing with moonlight. Morning when I woke up, the sun was shining. My fever was gone, completely. My body weak, sure, but alive. Ray, the doc, half the damn town showed up in shock. Doc Myers said, "I don't understand. Your fever was beyond saving." Ray admitted, "We were planning your arrangements. Thought you were gone." I asked them, "Who stayed with me last night?" They stared at me like I was crazy. "No one," Ray said. "We all left around midnight. You were unconscious. We thought you wouldn't make morning." Turns out they had even drafted a telegram to send to my family about my death. But I had lived. And the marks around the cabin, those weird circles, gone. No footprints and no stick marks. Nothing. For 2 more years I stayed in that region. Never saw the girl again. Never got sick again. What she was, an angel, a spirit, a hallucination from fever, I'll never know. But whoever or whatever she was, she saved my life. Mr. Shepherd stopped. His eyes looked glassy in the dim bar light. Nobody spoke. You could hear the rain tapping on the window. Finally someone whispered, "Sheriff, do you think she was real?" He gave a small, tired smile. "Real enough to keep me alive?" And the bar went silent again as the storm rolled over the mountains.